everybody, and welcome back to another That Adventure Life video. If it's your first time here, I'm Dustin.
And I'm V.
And look where we are today. We are at beautiful Death Valley National Park. And if you can see in the background way over there, there is water at Badwater Basin. But that's not the reason for today's video, because we are hiking to Natural Bridge.
This trail is really pretty. We've done this one before, long time ago, 8 years ago.
Long ago.
So we don't remember much of it. But it is, I believe, a route trip. So it's going to be either easy or difficult, depends on how you want to do this. Just to go to the bridge itself is about 0.4 miles each way. So about 0.8 miles or 0.8 of a miles route trip. As you go further, you're going to encounter some obstacle, and that's when it's become more difficult.
And fun.
So we'll show you both. We'll show you to the natural bridge, and then we'll show you to the more difficult one. If you want to go all the way toward the end of the trail, you know for sure when it's to stop. It's like a big giant dryfall that you won't be able to pass or unless you have technical skills like ropes and stuff, something like that. So that would be about 2 miles round trip. So, ready?
Let's do it. High five.
It was so cool on our last visit getting to see water in Badwater Basin, otherwise known as Lake Manly. This is an extremely rare occurrence, so we had to put a couple clips of it in this video. But now let's get into this hike. One great thing about this trail is that it has a little something for everyone. If you are just wanting to go to the arch and back, this trail is fairly simple, with the exception of some gravel and uneven surfaces. But if you're looking for an adventure, this trail has a little bit of that too. Nothing too crazy, just enough to check the box. While the climb isn't super steep on this main part of the trail, just know that you will be gaining in elevation all the way to the back of the canyon. If you do all of the trails that we do in this video, you can actually get a pretty good amount of climbing in with an elevation gain of right around 639 feet. At right around the 1/10 of a mile mark, we will be curving off to the left and leaving the beautiful and very temporary Lake Manly behind. The trail gets really neat here as it dives into a canyon. Depending on the time of day you're visiting, you might even get some good shade here. But one thing you need to be careful of is to not attempt this hike if it is raining here or anywhere nearby, because canyons and rain equal flash floods. Like we said earlier, it is only 0.4 of a mile to the natural bridge, and you'll be there before you know it. It seemed like on both times that we visited, a lot of people come here, take pictures with the arch, and then head back to the car, which is totally fine. But it's only another 0.4 of a mile to what, in our opinion, is the most fun part of this hike. Even though this is a fairly simple hike, I would not recommend doing it in the warmer months. Just in case you didn't know, this is the hottest place on Earth. It hit a temperature of 134 degrees back in 1913. We have now reached the back of the canyon, and you have two options. You can either climb up this dry fall, or there is another trail off to the left. We're going to do both in this video, but we're going to start with the dry fall. Believe it or not, this is actually part of the main trail. But if you are going to be doing this, we highly recommend you wear shoes that give you a ton of traction, and a little bit of rock climbing experience can come in handy here as well. And there isn't just one dry fall here, there's actually 4, but there's only 2 that will require you to climb up them. Along the way, you'll be passing under this giant Indiana Jones looking boulder as you make your way towards the far end of the canyon. As you can see, the rock falls back here are quite a bit smaller. They may take some balance to get up, but no technical skills are necessary. Here we are arriving at the end of the main trail, and we were surprised to find that there was not a giant dry fall here, it was actually a waterfall. It may not have been flowing like Shoshone Falls in Idaho, which you can see by clicking in the upper corner, but it was flowing a lot more than we were expecting it to be. After checking out the water in a place that usually gets less than 2 inches of rainfall per year, we started to head back. But we're not going all the way back to the trailhead because we still have one side trail to do, so stay tuned. Making your way back down the dry falls is where your grippy shoes are going to come into play. The rock here is pretty sticky, but the La Sportiva shoes that we wear made us feel like geckos out here. If you ever have any questions on what gear we use, you can always find it in our recommended gear section on our website, thatadventurelife.com. I'm not gonna lie, these last 2 down climbs are just a little bit spicy. I would highly recommend sending your strongest climber down first so they can point out all the footholds for you. If you stick to the right side of the last dry fall, there is a fun little slide that you can do at the bottom. And here we have the other option that you can do at the end of the easy part of the trail. This route has some really small climbs on it, nothing nearly as technical as the dry falls though. It is a lot steeper than the other way, and I'm sure that this is how we got over 600 feet of elevation on this trail. From here you will be able to look down into the slot canyon that we just came from. Just don't get too close to the edge because there's a couple of spots that have to be well over 100 feet down to the bottom. We've come up here on both visits to the park and we've never gone all the way to the end. We actually don't even know where it ends. Typically we just keep climbing and climbing until we feel satisfied and then we turn back. It's hard because we always worry about something really cool being around the next corner, but after one last canyon view, we decided it was time to head back. We could have spent a lot more time scrambling around up here, but we wanted to get down to Badwater Basin for sunset. Be sure to be extra careful on your way back down if you decide to come up here. There are a lot of rocks that would be easy to trip over and slip on, and falls from here could be extremely costly. One of the many great things about this trail is that it will not take up your entire day. AllTrails says that it should take about 52 minutes to complete. And even with us taking our time and doing the little bonus adventure, it only took us an hour and 47 minutes. If you are looking for a much more substantial hike, be sure to stay tuned for next week when we head to Golden Canyon. That is one of our favorite hikes in the park and you definitely don't want to miss it. After one more trip under the arch, we were pretty much home free. But be prepared to empty gravel out of your shoes several times over the course of this hike because I know that we did. If you can't get enough of rock arches, you should also check out our video about our favorite arches at Alabama Hills. That place is super underrated and we would love to get back out there. But as far as this video is concerned, we have reached the end. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because that really helps out the algorithm. If you have any suggestions of videos that you'd like to see us make, let us know in the comments below. And for all the information about the Natural Bridge Trail as well as other awesome adventures, head on over to thatadventurelife.com.